Tom. Believe me, it was 16 years ago because everybody that recognized me around Toronto now has gray hair like me, so it was 16 years ago. 16 years ago, I rode in the parade. The Grey Cup Parade is the first Blue Jay, and there was people out there supporting us then. They supported us through all those 100 lost seasons, as Alfredo and Dave Steve can attest to, and look at you now, you're still supporting us, world champions. I'd like to thank everybody involved with this. The trophy's beautiful, and maybe again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. This next pitcher was originally in the Blue Jays organization, had some arm problems, and was probably this close to being out of baseball. But he fought back. He was a rookie pitcher of the year here in Toronto in 1986. And now he's part of the world champion Toronto Blue Jays. And that great bullpen, I introduce to you Mark Eichhorn.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity. I'd like to thank my wife and the family for all the support. This is a very special moment for me. I was with the organization for 10 years, then I went away for a few years, and I probably won't see a lot of these guys. We won't see a lot of each other, and this is, without a doubt, the most exciting moment in my life in baseball. And this year, something happened when I was with the California Angels, really put life in perspective. Was a bus crash where a lot of my friends could have died. And Sully, I'm taking after Sully here, but it really put life into perspective. And just to be here in the World Series, it just is something that I'll cherish forever. Thanks, guys. Thanks to the Toronto Blue Jay organization.
Let's get the hitting coach up here, the guy that kept them fine-tuned all season long, Larry Heisel, the hitting instructor. Come on up, Larry. Best news of all, no BP tomorrow.
Sure is. Tom, I'd like to make two quick statements to 25 of the best players I've ever been associated with. In 92 men, a job very well done. Let's do it again in 93.
Well, there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had another first here in 1992. The Blue Jays had their first ever 20-game winner. And down in Atlanta for yet another World Series, I'm sure the Braves organization and their fans were not happy to see a young man's sign that said, "Jack is back." Ladies and gentlemen, 21-game winner, and a real pivotal reason why the Blue Jays are celebrating this today, I give you Jack Morris.
Guy here because this isn't my first time doing this thing, but the older you get, the harder it is to continually work, and you appreciate more and more what's come your way in this game. I think my teammates will agree when they say I think Jack Morris is a bottom line kind of guy, and what I'd like to do is thank you fans. There's been a lot of controversy about the amount of noise you make, but there's one thing that's very clear. You've supported this organization 2 years in a row with the best attendance in the game, and that attendance has been able to purchase and assemble a team that is worthy of world championships. I thank you for that. Now again, for my teammates, I just want to let them know that how hard a work a moment like this will always be remembered. I've been here before, and it seems like no matter how many I've been through, and I've only been through 3, and I'd like to be through a couple more, but you always remember these moments. I quoted a little poem for them in spring training, and I've changed it a little bit so all of you can hear it. The poem goes like this: roses are red, violets are blue. The Twins were champs in '91, and the Jays are champs in '92. Thank you.
The multi-dimensional Jack Morris. Pitcher, rancher, poet. Beautifully done. Another of the behind-the-scenes individuals up here, and a lot of these guys will be happy to see the last of him for some months to come. He is their strength and conditioning coach, and early on in spring training they dubbed him Saddam, to give you an idea of what they think about Mr. Rick Knox. Rick, come on up here.
Hello. I just want to say one thing that's very clear. This year, this team, without a shadow of a doubt, showed me heart and character, both on and off the field. Starting back at spring training, even before spring training, men like Jimmy Key and Todd Stonemeyer got in touch with me to work out early on. And I want to thank those men for that hard work. That's why we have this championship here. I also want to thank all the fans of Canada, because you showed the heart to support us every single day. Thank you.
There you go, Rick.
Sometimes when you get to a situation like this and you're an athlete and you cannot participate, that hurts. Especially when you've been to a World Series before and you know that you could make a contribution, God willing. Well, this gentleman has had arm problems, and to top it off, he got a little dizzy along the way, but he's a great citizen in the clubhouse, someone who's been here a long time. I'd like to have him come up and say a word to you. Pitcher Ken Dayley, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd just like to say I've been involved with some good fans, some good ball clubs, but I've never had the opportunity to be associated with the best. Fellas, thank you and God bless.
Ken Dayley. We're so fortunate with a team like the Blue Jays when they do it with homegrowns to such a great extent. We have had the good fortune of literally watching this young man grow up on the job. He comes from Huntsville, Alabama. I can remember 1984 when the club was just about to start the season and playing the final tune-up game in Portland, Oregon. They had told him, you go back to Florida, you don't figure in. They played the game. They got on the phone. They said, get back out to Seattle, you do figure in. He made his debut, bases loaded. Rod Carew at the plate in Anaheim, California, got him out of a jam. And when you think about it, he got him out of a couple of jams here in postseason 1992. Left-hander Jimmy Key.
We finally did it, and sorry it took so long, but here it is. Right here. This is what we worked on. Everybody said everything already, how great you guys are. I think the fans have been here since I've been here in '84. You know, you've gotten better, like Steve said, and you're great. One thing I would like to do is everybody has said thank you to their wives. I would like the wives to stand up and have you cheer our wives. Stand up, please. We're fortunate because we get to come out to the ballpark every day and play in front of you people, and you're cheering us all the time. But these are the women behind the scenes that do the dirty work. They do all the hard stuff. We get to have all the fun. So thank all of you. I'd just like to say one last thing. I don't know what's going to happen this winter. My ears are open, like I've said in the past. Whatever happens, happens, but I want you to know that I've enjoyed every day that I've been here. Thank you very much.
Jimmy Key.
When you talk about a World Series, you really talk about 16 years with everybody contributing. And this next gentleman started on the grounds crew, worked in the ticket office, and has literally worked himself right up to the point where, along with Pat Gillick, he brings you the players that you're cheering for here today. And I'd like to bring up a great friend and gentleman, the Assistant General Manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, Mr. Gord Ash.
Thanks, Jerry. I was born in this city, I was raised in this city, and to be part of a World Series in this city is truly remarkable. I also want to pay some tribute to some other champions here today. They're seated up in the baseball press box. This is the front office staff of the Blue Jays. Stand up and receive some applause for the people here. You've done a great job behind the scenes as well. We're going to try our best to put a club together that can do this again in '93, and we'll see you back here then. Thank you.
The great thing about the great game of baseball is that it is day-to-day. It is an armchair manager's paradise. It is a second-guesser's paradise. But if you're sitting in the dugout and you've got the big bag of managerial rocks on your shoulders, it might be the loneliest job in the world as well. This guy took this team over a few years ago and does not have to take a back seat to anybody in the game anywhere. He is the manager of the world champs, Cito Gaston. Cito.
I'd like to thank God, my family, and especially these guys right here. They did it. From day one in Detroit, if you could have seen their faces and how determined they were to be sitting on this stage today, you would know what I'm talking about. And they never quit. They did it all year. And I'm so proud of you guys. I swear, be proud of yourself because you're great. And thanks for everything. I really mean that. I really do. And I guess I get a little emotional sometimes, but I've had some great players here. I've had some great people here to play this game, and there's a lot of them still here. But this is probably the most determined team I've ever had here to be sitting on this stage, and they did it all. These guys. I think there's a lot of people you'd like to think. I think they know who they are. But most of all, we'd like to thank you fans, because without your support, we could not have put this type of team on the field. And Jimmy Key said it best. Thank all your wife. Let's do it again. Thanks.